Okay, welcome everybody to game number 3, which is potentially the last game here between ACCM and Peter Martel. It's the round of 8 of the Red Cup high brackets, and it seems to be a nomad start. Nomad start seems to be start with a bit more woods, I think. Also start with 2 houses, no 3 houses, so you do not need to make a house. Oh, 4 houses. So yeah. The map, we see some boars, shorefish, a lot of shorefish actually, some berries, nice DC placement from ACM against the wood line, berries and potential shorefish. Unfortunately did not find the sheep. Now let's look at green start. His town center also against the wood, a bit less wood for him, closer to the berries, does have boars, both the boars close by, but not going to be able to take any shorefish. Biggest amount of wood is in the middle of the map here, as you can see. Both players have small wood piles, some stone, 1 tile of gold, no, tile of gold here. ACCM boar actually being pretty far away, could lure that in if he gets loom. And the second boar is on the right hand side here. Pete's second boar, oh yeah, we did see that. Gold stones in the back of his base, so that's pretty good. All of them in the back of his base. So maps, I think they're pretty even, except for ACM here having the small advantage with the town center placement, because he can take the shorefish, which he is already doing. So shorefish is the fastest type of food income. Shorefish is the fastest if you take it with villagers, that is. Because if you take the shorefish with a fishing ship, it's actually the second lowest after taking the fish traps. So we could see ACM having a small bit of an advantage here. He also has Vikings versus Japanese. Vikings, Japanese, on a land map, I would always favor the Vikings here. Why? Vikings just have a really strong economy, but oh, look at this. Like I said, the fiction ships don't take the shorefish fast, but Japanese fishing ships.
R.E.D.
Japanese do have a bonus here, as you can see. Fishing ships have 2 times the HP, 2 times the armor rate, and work 5% faster in fuel age, 10%, 5% dark age, sorry, 10% in fuel age, 15 in castle age, and 20% in the imperial age. So even though normally fishing ships are the slowest type of food to take the shorefish, Japanese fish actually do pretty well, and there's enough shorefish here to justify the dock here. Only problem for him is he needs to be heavy on wood though, so he can make the fishing ships. Come on, send it to work, man. It's idle. Beats. So much idle time. There we go, finally sending it to the shorefish, and he's immediately going to queue up an extra one. So with the dock and the fishing ships, I think that Pete will be slower up to the fuel age. But if this is going to be like a slower game and a bit stalemate, he might actually have a good advantage with these fishing ships. He could also make a second dock here to make some fish in this pond later into the game. Don't like that he's scouting this much forward with the one villager. ACM, he just found sheep, and I think he went home with his villager. Yeah, he went home with the villager, and he's only scouting with his goats. And actually quite interesting that ACCM is going for a dog as well. I didn't expect a dog, I was going to expect a mill instead. Of course, Vikings also have a small advantage here, because their dogs cost 15% less, so they do save a bit of wood. So, like, I think these two civilizations would probably be the most viable for this kind of strategy. 4 fish ships for Pete. He's adding in more. Ooh, I think that 4 is more than enough here though. I would make 4 in this pond, make a dock here, and make 4 here as well. Oh, but he doesn't know about the pond. Unfortunately, he doesn't know about the pond here. And yeah, he hasn't found any goats. That's the biggest problem for him. Not finding any goats, which means that he has to constantly use his villager to scout. Let's look at the scouting, look at his vision. And now let's compare that to the vision from ACCM. Just look at the difference. The difference is huge. Huge scouting difference. And ACCM also not having to waste that one villager. And here we do see ACCM now taking the shorefish, so he's also only going for one dock. 4 fishing ships going on the shorefish with the villagers. And yeah, I don't think that we're going to see something happen in this pond, since it's a bit far away from the TC. Could potentially see a dock because the ships can also cross over here, so a dock would be really nice. But we see ACCM already clicking up to the fuel age, and that's because of 2 reasons. One, because he was taking the shorefish, 200 food, really the fastest food supply, and also he made less fishing ships than green did here. And here, look at this. Actually, the same strategy for both players. The only thing was Pete scouted it a bit slower. Yeah, he's going for the mill as well because it's a faster supply of food. So both players actually mimicking each other. Wasn't expecting that. But yeah, the difference is just the scouting for ACCM, finding the goats, having them help out with the scouting is just proving to be a really big deal here in this game. Resources, who could he go for? He's going for barracks now. Will he go for scouts or go straight into archers? You see a forward villager from green here, which was scouting around, and it will have to run back. Normally you want to go archers with the Vikings, but we might see a stable first. Stable, add in some scouts, and then probably transition into archers after that. So also I did see that green was scouting with some goats and taking them now, and those were probably the goats that he got from ACCM, and green going for some really forward walls. Let's see here, but there's still a hole over here. It's still open. ACCM might lose a vill here. Let's see the HP on the walls. Is he being able to get through? No, not too much HP. And Pete, these are some really big forward walls. I don't know if this is going to work out. It seems like he wants to go for a boomy game. Normally, these types of walls should not work. Look at this. He's walling like half of the map. That's way too much. Way too much. If he is really going for this, then he should stonewall behind as soon as he reaches the fuel age. Let's see. Stone walls. No, he's not making stone walls. And oh my god, scouts. Of course, they cannot go to the left hand side because it's walled off. So the scouts are going to the right hand side, and they will deny the wall off here from Pete Martel. Here we go, 2 scouts will kill this villager. Ooh, nice reaction time. Good reaction time here from Pete walling the villager. But who is going to save her? Who is going to save that one villager? To the scouts. Defensive tower, blacksmith market, fast castle from Pete Martel here. Did make a barrack to mix a spearman. Isn't walling behind, and he is clicking up to the castle edge. Still would love to see a stone wall on the side. It's something you don't see a high level player doing too much. Going for stone walls. 3 scouts now. Did the villager die? Yeah, I think it died. I think the scouts killed the wall. We do also need some forward spearmen. Fortunately, sorry, I wasn't paying attention to that at that point, but villager had nowhere to go, so we can assume that she died. 3 forward scouts shouldn't be able to do much damage since green has the defensive spearman at home. ACCM walling behind here as well. Well, of course, he doesn't need to go for aggression. He has Vikings. The Vikings have the stronger economy, so he could go for a boom himself. And I think that's what he's doing here. Actually made a dock in this pond. Interesting. Interesting to see he made a dock there, and Pete actually went for a mill. But Pete's lack of scouting. Okay, he does know about this gold, but he does not know about this gold and the stone pile in the back of his base. Also not about this, so he's missing 2 golds and 1 stone with the scouting. Let's check ACCM. Yeah, ACCM knows everything. He knows all the resources he has to know in his area. See, second town center coming up. Of course, he cannot place the town center against the wood line because there's a cliff here, which is preventing him from building the DC there. ACCM actually being the one to go for the stone walls here. ACCM with the stone walls, which means that he will probably go for a big boom as well. 2 town centers. Yeah, just 2 town centers from him. 2 town centers and make some knights. Since green is still open, he could still run into green space and do some damage. And green, except for the spearman, has no military at this point.
Ja, Bodord. Ja. Buin, Bodord.
See the scouts. Let's see if we see some other military production building. A monastery for ACCM. I was expecting maybe an archer range to make some archers to deal with the spearmen, and actually 3 town centers for Pete here. 3 town centers going up for ACCM now as well. It seems like he's going to collect the relics first. Still using the scouts to try and do some damage. Actually, looking at the relic position. 1, 2, 3, 4, and where is the 5th relic? 5 relics. Only 1 relic on the side of Pete Martell, and all the other relics are on ACM side. Oh, and look at this. Spearman. 2 spearmen cannot deal with 2 knights, and Pete Martell here losing 3 villagers to 2 knights here. Really good pick off from ACM. He's already on 7-to-1 kill death ratio. 7-to-1 KD, and that's some villagers and spearmen dying for Pete. Pete already also behind in the villager count. 48 versus 45. Still 3 town centers for ACCM, keeping all of them working. And save for Pete, still 3 town centers for him as well. Let's see what ACCM is going to add in here. Yeah, let's get see collecting more of the relics. Actually killing some fishing ship here. But yeah, that's not too big of a problem since eventually the shorefish will run out. And ooh, it seems like he get into the gold. I'm not seeing a dead body here, so Pete might have sent the villager to safety at home. He's now going for his own monastery. Of course, a monastery is to counter the knights. He will convert the knights, and maybe that's why we see a monk from ACCM to try and convert it back. ACM sending the villager deep into the territory of P tier. Here that's going to be a bad engagement, yeah. Losing the scouts. I think the other 2 scouts might have been dead as well for ACCM. So I do not see them. No, all the purple on the left side of the map here are just spearmen and sorry, the goats I mean, from ACCM, which Pete never found. Castle from Pete. Let's see where he's making the castle. It's another town center. He's going 4 TCs. He really needs to go up to 4 TCs, maybe even 5, because trying to boom versus the Vikings with the free wheelbarrow and handcart, keep that in mind. So their economy is really strong, which is why we also see that ACCM is ahead in villagers as well. Let's see where the castle is going to be from Pete. Not seeing it at this point. Yeah, I thought it said that he was making, or was... No, it wasn't. Oh, it was actually ACCM making a castle. Oh, sorry, I misread the notifications. I thought it said that Pete was making a castle, but it's actually ACCM. Okay, so I'm going to show you the civ here. Yeah, as you can see, so village, castle age, imperial age, wheelbarrow, handcarts for free. So that's really important upgrade, since you know that those are pretty expensive technologies. As you can see here, wheelbarrow. Oh, sorry, I cannot show you the cost, of course, because the Vikings get them for free. Let's switch over to just a random other civilization. So wheelbarrow doesn't show the cost. That's a shame. I wanted to show the cost there. I think it's... Yeah, I don't know all of the technology costs out of my head, but it's really a lot of food and wood that you can save here with the Vikings, and it also gives your economy a really big early boost. And ACCM actually already being up to an Imperial Age with 400 food and 600 gold still in the bank, compared to Pete, who does have the food to click up but is struggling with the gold, and that's mainly because it's fog of war. Oh, now we found them. Okay, so eventually he found 2 golds here, but he still isn't taking them. He's still heavy on this 1 gold over here. He probably found those golds a bit too late. And another forward castle from ACCM, and this is really not looking good for Pete here. He will be behind the Imperial Age, who is behind in economy, behind the military, and now he's going to get a castle on his face here. And yeah, what's he going to do? He does have a lot of resources, but I don't think it will be enough to hold here. Vikings just really strong. And ACCM is actually going for Berserks. Berserk, something type of unit that you normally never saw in the regular Age of Conquerors, but in the Woolulu they got slightly buffed, and now they are actually a viable strategy also with the other unique technology from Vikings. The second unique technology. Let's show you what the second technology is. Chieftains, which give infantry +5 attack versus cavalry units. So with that indication you can use your berserks to fight versus infantry and versus cavalry as well. So there are now more versatile units. And look at this, ACCM just pushing in with the castle. Another castle going up. This one will probably be denied because green has his own defensive castle. Elite Berserk coming in, and green has to tag into champions to try and counter those elite Berserks. So he needs to get men-at-arms, then he needs to get long swords, then he needs to get two-handed swordsmen, and then he needs to get champion. That's just so many upgrades, and I do not think he has the time to get all those upgrades. He is struggling. Green just trying to save some time, go for champions. Japanese infantry is really strong. They do attack faster, but look at this. Berserk again coming in. infantry upgrades. The berserks coming in as well. Castle will be trapped down by ACCM here, and I think we might see Peter Martel getting knocked out of the tournament here. If this castle goes down, ACCM can just go all in with the berserks. And what does green have to stop it now? So another castle in the back of space, a bit protecting. Still attacking into two-handed swordsman here. Also military count, 12 military for him now. So he is producing some military. You can see the long swordsman. And infantry upgrades from the blacksmith as well. So now they are two-handed swordsmen, and now we still need to get the champion upgrades. That using the market, selling the stone, and now we just clicked champion. Look at that, berserks, elite berserks, fully upgraded I presume, after the ace current cost comes in. And ACCM has so much siege to take down the production buildings and the castles from green. Yeah, of course, like samurai would have chewed up these berserks as well. The samurai are also strong infantry units, which does extra damage to unique units, but like I said, unique units, you need castles to make them. ACCM does have 3 castles, and or Pete is going to be with 0 castles. So yeah, champions was the best decision here. Finally got the champions. Still needs to wait for blast furnace to come in. He's having to take the fight. Oh, nice demo raft. Demo raft, look at that. Oh, good shot there is. Nice shot on the berserk. Look at the HP there going down, but unfortunately it was only a demo raft and that was a demo ship or a heavy demo. A heavy demo, but it killed so many of those berserks. Castle go down, military units, all the champions going down for green as well. It's getting raided by the knights here over here on gold. Okay, just lost so much map space. Still has a lot of idle villagers here in this TC. And there we go, GG being called. So ACCM will win the set here 3-0 and will advance to the quarterfinal. Yeah, Pete, of course it's going to be tough versus ACCM. Is a really strong opponent, but I felt like he could have won that one game there. But yeah, this one, I mean, like booming up versus Indians, versus Vikings, sorry, that's just not going to work. Okay, let's check the achievements. Let's check the achievements here for the players. We see ACCM, more kill death, of course, more army. 5 conversions as well for ACCM, so more conversions than Peter Martel got on the Knights. A big better economy, look at the gold difference, almost a double amount of gold. And map explored and researches count also higher.